I don't know what's up.
We'll see. Let's see if we can run this thing now. Hopefully it'll work right. Hey, what's up, Kelly? What's up, man? The live stream was sticking. I had to restart it. I hope I didn't mess nobody up. All right, I just put the thumbnail on there. I'm trying to get this. Why is it scheduled for 7? Okay. This whole thing, man, this is new. They didn't change the whole dashboard since I've been gone. Because I can't see this on my phone. All right, I got to do a lot of typing here. Give me a second, guys. I'm going as fast as I can. See how many people we can get in here tonight. I'm almost done, guys. Y'all go ahead and talk amongst yourselves until I can get this stuff up. I'm almost finished. Yeah, I'm gonna drop some stuff on y'all tonight that I wanted to wait till the trial was over first. And I wanted to tell you before I forget all this stuff, I was supposed to write it down, but I've been up for the last 15 hours. So I haven't slept yet. So I'm trying to do this before I go to bed because I promised you guys we would talk about it. All right. We almost done. And that's it. All right, let me get on here and see if I can hear myself talk. I don't know if y'all can hear me or not. All right, let me see. And he goes to commercial. Can y'all hear me?
A wheelchair is a utility.
Oh, okay, yeah, you can hear me. You dance say you can hear me.
Is the life you will continue to live. You will just use new tools.
I type slow as hell. I'm trying, man. Better than I was when okay.
Finding the right roofing contractor.
I'm in the middle of a commercial. Once this goes off, I can turn this off and we'll get, okay, y'all can hear me. All right, let me cut this off then.
Certified by GAF.
All right. What's up, y'all? Y'all okay? All right, let's go from the top. Who we got here? Normal cast of characters. Peggy Drong, King Delight, Grady Evan. He say, how's the stock market? Man, I ain't even looked at it this week. I ain't even looked at it. Grady, do me a favor. Hit me up in the email. And if you're interested in the stock market, I got something for you. Carl Major, thank you so much, brother. Mom don't play, I heard that. Alan Freeman, what up? Drago 706, Hazel Eyes. Tony B in the next room, what's happening? Carl Major. Kelly, you change your thing every day. I don't know when it's you. Kelly, you had Kelly C. You changed the pictures. If you don't make up your mind. Carol, quick, what's up? Forever favorite, I heard that. Grady Evans. We got Donna Barnes, I miss Donna Barnes. I know I got Eddie. Ashley Barber, what's up? All right, listen, I got to get to the bottom. Let's start talking. We got 108 people in here. All right, y'all, check it out. I want to say something real quick before we go into this. I want to shout out my mods, and I want to shout out all of my channel members. I don't shout y'all out enough. You know, I shout my mods out because, you know, my mods, you know, we got the group chat and all this other stuff. And I hear about the mods all the time. But, you know, a lot of people that are not mods and not people that, you know, everybody's important on here. And I just want to say shout out to y'all, especially my channel members, man. Speaking of membership, I'm going to tell y'all something, how caught up I was. The other channel, Sinister Intent, I got approved for channel membership. And this channel member's over there already because King reminded me. They gave me a thing, but they said we're gonna see if we approve it. They approved it early in the morning so I could get channel members. So before I could even remember, there was channel members on there. So shout out to all the channel members that are over there on the True Crime Sinister Intent channel. I appreciate them as well. But what's up, Angel Mom? That Angel Mom, you been with me 10 months? Damn. But yeah, I mean, me going down there and seeing what I saw, I learned a lot about trials. You know, I mean, it's easy doing the videos here. And, you know, somebody has said one time, why don't you just report from your house? You can't tell me going to these places, right? And seeing stuff and then having information that the news don't tell you from my own eyes and ears and experiences, like when Justice Smith walked in the elevator and broke down right in front of me. That's priceless. I couldn't have timed it because the day before he was about to come in the elevator. I was about to go in the elevator with them. I didn't even see him. And they, you know, some of the people was like, you don't go in there with him. And I was like, okay, I thought they had to go by themselves. I didn't know we could intermingle with them, but you know how it is in a court situation is tense. But yesterday when he came in the elevator, I was already in. I knew who the lawyer was. Lawyer came first. He was like, yo, can we come in here with you? I'm like, yeah, come on. And I knew who was with him. But when he seen me, it was kind of like he puts his glasses up and he leaned up against the thing. But I tried to explain what I was saying yesterday when he was crying, my reaction. What I was trying to say when I seen that man break down in there, regardless of what he did, for some odd reason, and I just think this is the human element. Thank you, Carrie Mosley. What's up? Thank you. I appreciate you. I think the human element in me was somewhat empathetic. Meaning, when I seen that man break down, it's just something about me to seeing, you know, they say it's nothing like seeing a grown man cry and do something. As a man and you see that, you know, for him to do that publicly. Thank you, LaShawn. Welcome. When you see them do that publicly and you know what it's about that got them to that point, it's like I didn't feel good about seeing his suffering. And it's like, I was like, you know, and when I thought about that, when I came off, I said, you know, doing these stories and getting this on the job training and stuff, it really changes you and it humbles you to be thankful that you're in the position you're in, because no matter who you are, somebody got it worse than you. And what's crazy is I've been in that position because I've done Fed time. So I seen what he's doing. And I said to myself, you know, this is something a lot of people need to see when they have kids that are trying to struggle to be out in the street and stuff. You never want to be in a position, and I want you to hear me on this, you never want to be in a position where you're in a courtroom with all the fingers pointing at you after you done did some dumbness and a bunch of strangers got to decide your fate. That's all court is. And it was just like I described it. The whole courtroom scenario, when I was there watching them do closing arguments, so on and so forth, was a bunch of theatrics and trying to win over the jury. And a lot of it has to do with how they feel about the lawyer. And that's one of the reasons why these charges fell the way they fell. I'm almost sure of it. Because when they did those closing arguments, you know, it was a lot of theatrics and stuff like that, and it's crazy stuff being said because these guys are trying to throw the life preserver to their clients and keep them afloat as best they can. Thank you, King. They'll say and do anything. First thing I noticed when I was in court, and this was mind blowing to me, and this is just overall observation. Anybody that was there can tell you, media people, everybody that was there. The sediment and the atmosphere in there, you heard Haley's name mentioned a lot, and he was the unanimous bad guy in the court. They all was the bad guy, but you could see it was like a certain type of vitriol in the air for Haley. The way he carried himself, he was kind of smug to me, and a lot of people said it. He was arrogant, like just like it was just weird how he was. And that might be his personality, but I was like, yo, this time I went in there, they was just sitting there, dejected. They was normal when I seen them. They was just emotionless the whole time. They sat in the chair and never moved, right? Check this out. When yesterday came, when the verdict was, when deliberations was coming, the whole demeanor of all three of them was different. I was one of three public people in there. The other two people was Rodney Wells' mother and Rodney Wells' sister. We was only three in there. And there was another gentleman, I can't remember who he was, but he was with Rodney Wells' sister. It was just us three. And the whole courtroom was empty except for a little bit of the media and the lawyers and stuff. And what's crazy is when they get to the end of wrapping up a trial, they just be in there chilling. All of them just laughing and joking amongst each other. But the day before, they were cutting each other's throat and clients in front of the face of the clients. It was crazy. It was wild. Listen, what I'm trying to get at is their demeanors was different. They were like this in the courtroom the whole time, motionless. The whole time they had a trial, they were like this. Closing arguments, they were like this. Yesterday, when it was judgment day, you seen a lot of this. You seen a lot of legs tapping, jumping, a lot of hands doing like this on their legs. They was messed up. Haley was doing a lot of that jumping, like his whole body was jumping. And Bean was just sitting back, like, you know, just rocking. Your boy in the middle, Justin Smith, because Justin Smith sat in the middle they always sat in the same seats every day. So Justin Smith just kept being like, and he just kept looking down. That's why I think he was thinking about something before we went to deliberations, and he cried in the elevator. You know what I'm saying? But they was going through it. But this is the part that's crazy. Each of the lawyers had their own type of personality, and the jury, I could see, had favorites in the lawyers that went up there and talked. I remember I told you John Perry went first, which is Tredaris Bean lawyer, and he went up there and acted like he was crying, and he was talking, I got receipts. They got receipts. Tredaris Bean needs a refund. He needs a refund. Give him. He started crying and like just doing his hands like he had enough, like he couldn't take it no more. And people was just looking like, you know, so evidently it worked because he only got caught up on what? One of the charges? Because if you look at the different media outlets, and it's still, I was there. Bean and Smith, Bean got 2 and Smith got 1 charge, I think. Or I might have it vice versa. It was a while, you know, I've been up, so I might have that wrong. But Demetrius Haley got 3 of the 4 charges. And 2 of the charges he got was bodily injury. Like those 2 big ones, he got both of them. The sentiment was people didn't like him. When they saw that video and saw how he was talking, and they played on him all talking and talking about how he hit him and stuff, the prosecution used that. They spoke just like him in the closing argument. And it was funny because it was a white woman and a white guy as the prosecutor. The white woman went first. Just a regular plain Jane white woman, right? She was good though. She's a good and so she was trying to talk slang, but she was using her voice. She was pointing at him. She was like, these three over there, they beat him multiple times. They hit him over, because the thing was 5 times. So she kept saying over and over. She would count it over and over and over again. They did. And like, I was like, yo, she powerful with that. Then she was like, one of the Smash Bros, one of the 2 Smash Bros, right there, Haley. He was on go, and she was breaking it all down. And I was like, so then they went, all the lawyers went. But I thought it was weird that Justin Smith's lawyer went last. I thought Demetrius Haley would go last because, you know, the way he looked, and he, you know, he would probably need the most time. But being the fat attorney, I think he was highly favored in the courtroom. He made little jokes when he would stand up and talk, but I think that was strategic. He wanted to win over the jury a little bit, and I think it paid off because Justin Smith only got the least charges. He was going over there. Of course, he did just like this when he did his closing argument. When he first started, he said, you know me, pulled his pants up. I'm going to tell you some jokes. I'm going to tell you stories. He did it just like that. And I'm looking at the jurors, and a lot of them was like they was waiting. Like, you know, so they must have liked him. And that runs on a lot on your, you know, client that's defending him. And that's one of the things people need to understand. If they like the lawyer, they will find favoritism on the client, whether you like it or not. But that's just part of the theatrics of being in court. And I seen it firsthand. You see what I'm saying? And he talked, but I'm gonna tell you the funny shit. He got up there. Now they was talking shit on Desmond Mills and Emmett Martin II. The third, because they wasn't there. Desmond Mills done moved out of Memphis. He left. So he don't even live there no more. Now I don't know if Emmett Martin III still lived there, but Emmett Martin wasn't there. That fat lawyer, crazy. He got up there, Justin Smith lawyer, he said it just like this verbatim. He said, look at the credibility of the witnesses they brought up here. They brought a guy up here, said he was an expert. All I do was train him. He wasn't even an expert. Didn't have no criteria. Then he said this about Field Lieutenant Dwayne Smith. I about fell out the chair. He said, look at the people. Everybody threw them away. They were doing what they were trained to do. He said, then you get people sitting up here. So you got Field Lieutenant. And he pulled his pants up. He's looking at the jury. He said, Dwayne Smith, Field Lieutenant Dwayne Smith. He was scared as hell. The way he had a Southern country accent. He said, scared as hell. The way he did that shit, it was ghetto as hell. I was like, I said he probably was scared, because remember he said he was scared. He said, Field Lieutenant Dwayne Smith, scared as hell. Thinking they gonna get him. You can't trust nothing he said. He was scared. He didn't want to say too much, say too little. He might be sitting over there. I was like, But he was talking all of that stuff, and he was saying what he was saying, and it worked. Now, the counts, right? I'm gonna see if I can jump off of here and see if I can find them real quick. Because in order, like I did videos and poem video, I can't remember them right now. Let me go over here and see what I can see. Go on the website real quick. We're gonna be in here a little while, so we got time. Of course, I think the first count was the violation of his civil rights, which none of them were guilty of, which blew my mind. I don't understand that. I don't understand it, because in the courtroom, y'all, they were saying that, hold on. I'm sorry for the typing. I'm trying to get this up here. Get the news article. This is what they were doing. All right, we'll go to CNN. They got good articles. 20 hours ago. This is what they were saying. The whole premise of the courtroom and them doing their thing was this. They were trained, doing what they were trained to do. They said that. That was what the defense was saying. You can't get mad at them when they was doing what they were supposed to do. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I found this out. A lot of people think it's only one Scorpion team. It's multiple Scorpion units. I think it was 3, they said. Scorpion team 1. And they said this in there too, in the closing arguments. The lawyers said this. They said, Justin Smith, lawyer said this. Scorpion team 1, right, was the best Scorpion team. I said they think it was 3 of them, and other ones did this different things, but they were the ones that bust the doors in, take people down, act the fool the most. So it was a prestigious thing to be on Scorpion Team 1, which Dave was on. That's why, remember, I was like, if you was facing so much stress and all of this stuff, why didn't you just quit? It was a pride thing. Because if you on Scorpion Team 1, you the shit. They explained it like that. I said, that's why they had that pressure. Dwayne Smith getting on them, y'all get it, y'all get it. I don't know if he was the only lieutenant or he was just the field lieutenant over them. And they had other field lieutenants over the other teams. I don't know. But I mean, for him to be harping on them, do something, do something, do something. And then they did what they did to Tyre Nichols. It makes me wonder. They was fighting to keep themselves on that team because they were prestigious. That's why it was easy for him, Demetrius Haley, to take a picture of Tyre Nichols, which I seen up close, that picture they took of him when he was on the ground. I seen that actual picture from his phone. That was easy for him to do that and send it to anybody because beating ass is what they do. As long as it's under the regulation of what they're told in the guidelines, it was cool. Because I mean, how else would somebody take a picture, somebody snap a picture and then send it to multiple people before they talk to internal affairs or filled out their the policy resistance forms that they had to fill out? Because all of that stuff got to be stated before anything get out to cover their own behinds and make sure what they said was true. He was sending pictures before they even filled paperwork out. Then he sang like a canary at this thing when he was talking about how crazy Tyre was. Look at this, y'all. They said Tyre Nichols in the court. They said that, they made the lie. It was already confirmed that this lie had came, but they was talking about it. They said Tyre Nichols was so strong, right? This is what they wrote in the report. Tyre Nichols was so strong that he lifted up, and I want you to hear me. Tyre Nichols was what, 6'2", 6'3", 175? He said Tyre Nichols was on drugs, and the way they knew is he was so strong that at one point he lifted up, and I want you to remember these officers, Desmond Mills Jr., the fattest one, and Demetrius Haley at the same time. Come on, man. Come on. Ain't no way. That's like 500 pounds. He just lifted him up off the ground. And they kept saying he was reaching for the duty belts and all that stuff, and he wasn't. They kept bringing up the fact that he was running away. And that's the big thing, I think, that played into the way these laws was written. I mean, these crimes, they're written a certain way. So you could have a shot up where, like, it's like, okay, this is what the law is. Did they break this exact law? Because we saw the juror fill out the form. They showed the form in court. Me and the 3 other people, we was there early enough. They showed the form. And they said, yo, this is what you write guilty here, not guilty. They went over the whole form in front of the jurors, and we all was sitting in there. A lot of us was in there. So all you do is check guilty or not guilty, and it's all laid out. Count 1, count 2, count 3 for each one of them, and count 4. So it's all of them. And they had to go in there and deliberate. They did that in 5 hours. When they went in there and did that and came back out, the first person they did was Tadarius Bean. When they ran Tadarius Bean, right? And they said not guilty for the first thing. Everybody was like, count one. Then they said count two, not guilty. Everybody was like, wait a minute. They said count three, not guilty. Remember, Justice Smith sitting in the middle. Now, in the trial, what you never heard was, and I don't know if y'all remember, a long time ago, I said it seemed like they trying to do Bean and Martin together, because remember, they was the ones holding him. And remember when they was in the state building, not the federal building, they was in the state building, we was covering them trying to ask for all this stuff pending the trial date. Remember Justin Smith's lawyer, the fat one, kept saying he was with John Perry. They was laughing and joking a lot, which they was doing still. And he was trying to liken his situation with Justin Smith to Bean's. And I was like, that's strange. Why would you keep doing that? Because every time they would mention in the courtroom, it's subliminal implants that they put on the jury. They would say Bean and Smith. Bean and Smith. Tadarius Bean's lawyer went up there and talked about Justin Smith. Them being alike somewhat. Justin Smith lawyer went up there and brought up Tadarius Bean name multiple times. Subliminal, they putting it on the juror. Because remember, in the video, them two was together holding Tyre Nichols. They was holding him when he was down getting kicked. You see how they do that? It was subliminal. These are regular folk. Most of them wasn't in Memphis. I think they brought that because I think they was telling me that they brought that jury not from Memphis. You see what I'm saying? So I think they was from another part of Tennessee. And a lot of them was older people. Brought them in there, and you see what the charges was. Haley got smoked. You know what I'm saying? Because they kept bringing up Haley. Like the lawyers were saying, he ain't Haley. He didn't do that. Demetrius Haley did it. He's not Demetrius Haley. He's this, he's that. This is what they were saying in court. This was the alibi at the closing arguments. Fayette County, Tennessee. Thank you. They said, this is why each one of their clients wasn't guilty. They said, first one, Tadarius Bean, his body camera was off. And I want y'all to hear how goofy this sounds. His body camera was off. So you don't know what he did. Yo, it's crazy how they were saying that. But other body cameras saw him. They saw him striking Tyre Nichols. They saw him holding him on the ground. And they were just saying, that's just standard police procedure, what they do. And I'm like, that's not normal to punch somebody and kick somebody in the face. They also talked about the injuries Tyre suffered. They said Tyre's brain was torn in his head. That hurt my heart when I heard that. They said his head was shook so vigorously that his brain was torn in his head. He had microscopic tears, and man, that's hurtful for the family to sit there and hear that over and over again. They played the video of him being beat temporarily, a snippet of it. His mom never seen that. She sat in the courtroom and heard that. I seen her lean over, man, and everybody was consoled. It made my heart sink, because it's one of those situations where you see somebody in a position of pain and you can't help them. And you know, you're like, why is this even happening? But it has to happen for justice to be served. When they played that video again, you could hear a pin drop. After they got them playing it, it was like kind of somber. It kind of upset me. Everybody was looking, then the family was like, we all just looked at them. Because like where I was sitting, I was about 11 feet away from them. Because I wanted to sit myself where I could see them, see the jury, see the judges, and see, like, you know, just minding the room. But all in all, man, this whole thing is messed up to me. They was guilty on all of them charges. But when the way they wrote the charges out, it sparks debate between jurors, and they go back and forth, because we were saying, you know, because I was like, in my head, you know, I don't know nothing, and I'm down there with them. I don't want to interject and say, oh, this and that, you know. In my head, I said, they should be able, this is open and shut, the way those laws was written. So I don't know what happened in that room. But I know they went and deliberated, and it took 5 hours. We was all chilling, because all of us, I was with the family all day. The whole time I was down there, we was just chilling. And we got the call. They was like, yo, we got to get back to the courthouse. Motherfuckers took off like a bat out of hell in their cars. I was booking it. We left. Get back over there, run up in there, And when I seen them U.S. Marshals, you knew they had the, man, listen, the courtroom was never full. And I'm gonna tell you another thing too. Nobody from the family of these 3 officers were never there. That side of the thing was empty because the family sat close to where they was at. Nobody came. But when that last day came and they said they got the verdict and everybody booked and beeline back to the Fed building, federal courthouse, when we got in there, the motherfucking courtroom was packed. You couldn't, it was, man, they had U.S. Marshals lined up in the front all the way across the thing. I said, because I did Fed time. I said, somebody going to jail. And I said, judging by all of them, I said, they all going to jail. So I'm thinking in my head, because you can't talk in there at the time. I said, all these marshals, they're going to take all 3 of them. And I said, they got a lot of them. They had women in there, women looked like ex-military women. They was talking and stuff, telling people don't have cell phones and all this other stuff. And they read the guilty verdicts. And when they got the Haley, they just said guilty. They kept saying guilty. They just kept saying, I was like, oh. But some of the family, I'm gonna be honest with you, some of the family didn't understand, they was upset. You know what I'm saying? And like, people had to explain it to them. Because when you get a not guilty, even if it's one not guilty and they all got 3 of the 4, that one not guilty weighs on you like, damn, they did this to my cousin, my brother, my son. It bothers you, but you gotta understand, they blew trial. They blew trial. Just one guilty is enough. They not going nowhere. And I think they all got the conspiracy shit. That conspiracy, because they try to cover the case up. That conspiracy alone, from what they were explaining, carries a minimum of 20 years. Because I'm gonna tell you something. Regardless of how many not guilties they got one guilty. And it's very hard, and I want you to hear me, to convict a police officer, let alone in the state, but in the government, it's very hard to get a conviction for a police officer. And they got it. And we was talking about it. This right here, if it's a shot, I mean, we didn't get what we wanted. But the thing is this, they got that civil lawsuit and they just won the civil case, regardless of how many guilties or not they got. So that helps their civil lawsuit against the city. Now you got the government proof that they lost, they blew the civil right trial. So that's a big strike. That goes in their favor. And people was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But I'm gonna tell you the crazy part. Nobody said this on the media. After it was over, and when you're sentenced, right, they take you away right then. So they said, all right, they read all the stuff. He said, he went to the jury. He said, he went to each one. He said, this is your final thing? He said, yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'll answer questions in a second, y'all. They went to each jury. Is this your final thing? They was like, yeah. He got done. And he said, all right. He put the paper down. They was straight to the point. He said, marshals, you can remand them into federal custody right now. Like, take them away. They go to get up and go get them. The lawyers jump up. Judge, and they each did each client. They said, my client Bean or my client Smith or my client Haley, they were compliant with the order of the pre-trial order, I guess, like the state put and come on time, and because I think they locked them up, not locked them up, but like they put them somewhere in some type of confinement where they weren't going home at night during this trial, and they complied with it. So they're like, they complied, so can they please stay out until their sentencing date, which is January 23rd, 24th, and 25th, which I will be back there for. So it's the middle of January, 3rd week of January. I can't remember the days. And each one I have they'll go get sentenced that day before, a day after each other. So he was like, okay, first one said it. He was like, I'll note that. And then they went to the next one. Yeah, Smith, he's compliant. He said, I'll make a note of it. And he went to the next one. Yeah, Haley was compliant. He said, I'll make a note of it. And he sat there for a second. It was the funniest thing. He said, you guys got anything else? They say, yeah, federal marshals remand them and take them into federal cut. He just shit right on everything they said. I said, oh, because they was looking like they was going to get off like, oh, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we going to go home. Nah, get your punk asses right over there like the rest of us, regular folk. When we got sentenced, they sent my ass right in the back. I ain't get to hug my family or nothing. I threw the deuces and went and did the time. Get your ass right back there. It was crazy. It was the craziest thing. And like seeing that up close. But, you know, people get upset because they don't understand. The judge and everybody in the beginning, when they said deliberate, they said, this is all on you. They said, it's not on me. I done my job. The court is over. It's on y'all to make the decision. I know it's a hard job. The lawyers said that too. They said, now y'all go back there and take as much time as you want. And they said, it's on you. The lives of these men and all of this other stuff, I know it sucks, but you guys are responsible for that. They let you know, hey, whatever the verdict is, that's them. It ain't us. It ain't, you know, these are the facts. And like, it was plain English. That's why I'm like, how did they not get the civil rights thing? But they say it's under color of law, meaning like, you know, as police officers, they should know better. And how they get not guilty on that? Because they were trying to say it like, hey, Tyre Nichols didn't stop. Tyre Nichols ran, but he was getting his ass beat. Who gonna stay there while they get their ass beat? You know what I'm saying? If you're on the ground, right? I want you to understand something. Men know this. When men get to tussling, the one that go to the ground usually be the one that's losing. Or he's at a disadvantage because you can't stand on your feet, can't move. Somebody's over top of you. They can mollywop you. Imagine 3 or 4 or 5 people on top of you. Your natural instinct of having a foreign danger over top of you is to put your hands up and try to get up. Like the prosecutor said, he didn't fight back. He got beat up on the corner of the street. He called for his mom. After all that stuff they did to him, he never swung or grabbed for a belt or nothing the whole time because he knew as a human being and as a citizen, you don't strike a police officer. But they struck him. They made the whole thing up because they were mad that they were getting in trouble because they wasn't making an arrest and the night wasn't going the way they were going. So when Emmett Martin made the lie up that Tyre Nichols wouldn't stop and he was doing all this other stuff, Haley and all the other people heard it after being scolded and they was all mad. Oh, finally some action. And they ran over there and they did him dirty. I'll answer your question in a second. What's normal? This all came from the lie of one officer that cost this man his life. And I told you before, you're only as good as the day or the last stop that an officer's having. And this is something people need to teach their kids, man. The kids that's out there doing crazy stuff, you don't know who's gonna pull you over. Not all the cops gonna put up with all of that mouth and all of this crazy stuff or jumping out the car and running away after doing something. Don't put yourself in that position because you don't want to be in a position like these officers. They were sitting there getting twisted with their last drop of dignity out of a washcloth. They felt the squeeze. I seen it. The stress level was high yesterday before deliberation. You know what I'm saying? And it was hurtful to them. And I mean, as much as I don't like them for what they did, the compassionate human side of me felt for him when I seen him breaking down because I can relate to being in that position. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that was weird. I'm like, am I supposed to not like him? Or, you know, and I'm like, you know, YouTube's really changing you. Hey, Kenyana, it's really changing you as a person when you're doing these stories and you get to know these people and you're doing the ins and out. It's different than just being in a room talking shit about something. I try to go out there and see what I'm talking about. And it helps me make better content. Now, I'm going to tell you, they took them in the back. They're right now in federal holding. They're in their jumpsuits and in their rooms looking crazy. This is the second day they're in there. They're in there on the weekend. By the time tomorrow hits, the reality will hit them. It's going to be a lot of Saturday in any type of jail or federal holding facility is a brutal time because there's not a lot of guards and a lot of the BS happens on the weekend. Everybody knows who they are. These guys are going to penitentiaries. They're going, their numbers are too high. So inmates do nothing but watch the news. They have very distinct features. When they go in there, guards tell who's coming. So inmates already know who they are when they get there. And my thing is this, the feds and the state, this is the problem with police officers going to jail. What if somebody you beat the hell out of and put false claims on is locked up in there? Or they got a family member that you beat up. They never forget that. All they got to do is make a phone call and talk, regardless of his thing or not. And be like, yo, one of them cops said, what's his name? His name Bean. Oh, yeah, that's that cop that locked me up. Oh, for real? That's not a threat over the phone if it's recorded. Now they know they green light this dude sticking. Look at the guy that we did the story that sat on George Floyd's neck. He got stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be rough. Emmett Martin and Desmond Mills, they got the snitch moniker. That's even worse. It's even worse. They set your bed on fire in the feds, your mat, to get you out of a room, and they'll move you out of the room. They don't want that around them. But anyway, man, I went outside yesterday, and I wound up doing Ben Crump's live stream. If you guys seen this live stream on Instagram, that was me that was holding it up in the air and recording. It was funny. I got in the car and everybody was calling me like, man, you on the news, man, you on the news. I was like, I ain't see it. I didn't see it until what? King, what time did you send that to me? 9:30, 10 o'clock? My mind wasn't even on that. They was like, man, you on the news. Because like every day we went out there, the cameras was filming. I was like, it'll get caught eventually. But it was a good experience. And I mean, Tyre Nichols' family, man, them some stand-up people. I mean, they came from Cali, Sacramento, Oakland, shout out both places. You understand what I'm saying? And man, they good people. After the thing was over, they went, to the house and they invited everybody to come. So that's why, I went over there and we talked and I told, I'll put the promise out here so y'all hear it because I'm going to show this. A lot of y'all asked me about what kind of work I do with the aquariums. I told Mr. Rodney, because they got a fish aquarium in the house that's not looking too good. I said, I'm going to do your aquarium for you next time I come down there, which will be in the next few months. I'm going to make that thing look right, and I'm going to take pictures, and I'm going to come back and show y'all. Now, a lot of time, people was like, hey, Steve, take pictures and stuff, because I wanted to take pictures. Every time we were in the courtroom, when the courtroom was over, then we could go get our phones. We had to leave our phones in the car. So I never had my phone. And every time I come out the courtroom, I was either doing something or I was given a task to do something. Like yesterday, Ben Crump, I got a task from him to do what's name. And yeah, I met Attorney Ben Crump too. And I'm gonna be honest with you. He's very professional. He's a very nice man. He talked to everybody like he wasn't like, hey, I'm better than anybody. And I give him credit. When he came, he spoke to everybody like he knew them. And like even like the lady at the front desk of the Urban League, he spoke to her and he had a conversation with. I was outside when he pulled up. Me and Hakeem Ali, his representative, his investigator, me and him, shout out to him, was together all day. Me, him, Mr. Rodney, all day yesterday. It was just us three doing stuff, talking and I really got a chance to know him. Me and him went out on the road. Me and Mr. Ali. It was all right, man. It was okay. And he's a regular dude. He talked. And when we came back, because we went and got the food. So me and Hakeem came back. He said, yeah, Crump right there. So when I came, he was waiting. I got out the car. He was like, what's up? I'm like, oh, what's going on? And he hugged me, shook my hand, talked. Asked me a little bit about myself. And then he went and had to handle some business, but at the end, I don't know if it's probably out there somewhere. You know, he grabbed me up and hugged me in front of the reporters and stuff and was like, you know, thank you for what you did. You know, people can say what they want to say. Oh, you cover this Tyre Nichols story too much and this and that. I do what moves me. And I think I can say something that somebody can learn from. And I don't know why I do what I do. I just pick this. I do it. I'm passionate about it, so on and so forth. But I'm going to tell you something. Yesterday night, I went over to the family's house. They were just sitting around and they had calmed down off the verdict because, you know, some people was upset. And then they understood and we was talking about it. Me, Hakeem was explaining to a lot of people what's going on. Then they understood. They're like, okay, yeah, now I see. This trial, federal trial, is over. It's not the murder trial. A lot of people keep getting confused. When that murder trial hit, that's the big one, y'all. This one was big, but that next one in Memphis, it's gonna be jurors from Memphis. That one is the coup de grace. That's the one, yo, that one gonna trump this one. Of course, the citizens gonna be there, and it's gonna be buck wild. I'm gonna be down there too. You know what I'm saying? Ben Crump gave me his information. I got Hakeem information. I met some important people that are out there in society, like on a first name basis. I got contacts. If I need anything or if something come up and I say, hey, yo, I need advice on this, I got Mr. Rodney there. I mean, I can tap into people like directly. That's a cool thing, you know, networking. But the reason why I brought up what I just said, and I want you to hear me on this, I did not know this channel has such an impact that it has. I was in Kroger's yesterday and one of the subscribers that leave comments all the time was like right in front of me. I'm standing there. She's like, yo, is that the YouTube dude? I was like, I said, yo. She said, yo, I'm such and such. I forgot her name is Simone something. Shout out to you, Simone. I said, I know that name. I seen it in my comments. I said, how you doing? She was just like, yeah, I'm fine. I shook her hand. And I was like, that's what's up. She wound up leaving. You know what I mean? Because I was around people that whole time. We was just camaraderie and people didn't know who I was until they was like, that's the YouTube guy that talk about Tyre Nichols. And everybody was like, man, that's you. I'm like, yeah, they just thought I was somebody to show support. But I mean, it's cool. You know, like, I mean, Miss Wells pulled me outside last night, right when I was leaving. She took me outside. She said, Steve, I appreciate you. She said, you never, you know, spoke bad about my son without, you know, when everybody else was trying to label him a criminal and say he had a criminal record, you just went by what you saw on the tape and you spoke about what wasn't right. She said, that's good. She said, you helped us and you don't even know how. And that kind of like hit me like, man, maybe, you know, me doing this type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? It might turn into something. I never thought it would. I just, you know, I want to do videos I'm passionate. But she told me, she said, you help people. And she gave me like, you know, well, she's supposed to call me and give me some other court cases that's not done, civil rights cases and cases like that. She said, Steve, you helped us a lot. And when I was leaving, she said, now you go help somebody else. She said, I'll see you when you get back. She said, you family, you here, you welcome me anytime you want. And it hit me in the car. I said, that's pretty cool. She said that. Because, you know, I didn't want nothing from these people, didn't ask anything from these people. They didn't have to welcome me. You know, they could be like, hey, we hate all social media people. Don't come around us. But me, they was like, yo, you are staying here. You go where we go. And I mean, that was a blessing because I got to see the inside of a federal court. Now I know a little bit. And when we do another federal trial, we can all talk together. You guys that are with me all the time, it's like I'm learning, I'm teaching it to y'all. So the understanding to be better. But I mean, that was a humbling experience seeing these people up close. Because remember, I kept saying, I want to see them. And seeing them up close and then really seeing that these are human beings. They just did some inhumane stuff. And that's the thing. For people to do some of the most violent crimes, they have to take the human element out of the person. But what's weird about this, these officers took the human element out of themselves and did something inhumane to an innocent human being. And that was the biggest thing that I had a problem with. Now, do you guys got questions? What questions? Somebody had their hand raised. Why am I acting like I'm in class? All right, questions. What questions y'all got? Because the trial over now, I can answer. I know I forgot some stuff, but I'm just happy the family got some justice and they can breathe easy. What question you got? Oh, did I meet civil rights leaders? I met, I'm not good with names. I met the first black Supreme Court judge in Tennessee. I met her. I met the state, yeah, he real cool too, young guy. What's the name? The state representative with the afro. Met him, talked with him, and I met Ben Crump, of course. I met Hakeem Ali. I was around him like every day, even when I went the first time. I met all the Tyre Nichols family. I met a lot of people. Yo, let me tell you something real quick. Y'all know I'm crazy and I be doing crazy stuff. My man, where is this card? I got this card right here. I know his name, but I'm gonna say his last name because I told him I'm gonna shout him out. Right? Man, I got so many cards in here. Look, I can't even get them out. All these cards I got when I was done it. Keith Marshall. Shout out Keith Marshall, man. Keith Marshall, crazy. Keith Marshall is Mr. Rodney Wells. Why I keep saying Mr. Rodney? I've been calling him Rodney. Rodney Wells' best friend. So me, him, and Keith hung out. So we went and ate where the officers eat at the courthouse, right? So we just go in there and go in where the officers eat, where the cops go. We was privileged to go in there. We just go in there and eat where they eat, right? Because Mr. Rodney Wells coming down there so much, they get to know you, they let you do things. So we all go back in there, right? So I was like, all these, it's like brass, like people with the heavy brass, like the officers. So I'm like, what is this? It's like, this is what the cops eat. So they had some good food in there, right? Man, Keith is crazy. I said, Keith, you like me. I've never met nobody that's off the wall like me. Where like I might say something crazy and you'll bust out laughing. Like the horse story I told last week. We was talking about police horses or something, and I told that story. Man, I had them screaming loud as hell in the police officers' mess hall. People was looking, I'm like, yo, you about to get us locked up. Keith screaming in there. He's like, yo, we going to Vegas, man. You need to go with us. I'm like, that depends on what I'm doing. Like, man, Keith was a good dude. Keith was like, he came to the party to see me, like, yo, what's up, man? What's up? I gotta go. I just want to say, what's up? Yeah, Keith crazy. He was a funny dude. He was a good guy, man. I didn't meet anybody down there that was a bad person. And that's the thing. I mean, you're around a lot of people. You start seeing people like, that person right there, I ain't messing with. Everybody I met was good people. And I mean, shout out Tyre Nichols' family. It was a lot of them. They all are family close. And you can see the type of relationship they have with each other. You know, they all respect Miss Rovan and Mr. Rodney. And they all went over the house and she was just happy. I said, they really in the family. You can see it here. You know, they mind their business. They're not loud, boisterous, and crazy. Even after the verdict was read and they were upset, nobody said nothing ignorant. They came out, they was quiet. It was some long faces at first, but they was very respectful. They was very respectful. Yeah. You said Tyre had FedEx family. That's another thing. You see that pin that say Tyre on it? Mr. Wells said that FedEx made them pins and passed them around and was wearing them at the job in solidarity for Tyre Nichols, because he worked there. And they said they only gave 5 to the public, and he has the 5. So he was supposed to give me 1 because one of them was broke. I said, I'll fix it because, I want to put some stuff on my wall. Like I got the Tyre Nichols t-shirt that they made. I think it's like 1 of 10. So I got one of them. And I'll put that on the wall as well. I took it down there to wear it, but like the weather was up and down. I had to wear a hoodie one day, and I was too cold to go out there. Just stand there with no sleep. I couldn't do it. But yeah, man. I mean, it was a good thing. Yeah, but I met some people. I met her. I met the judge. I met the former judge. I met Ben Crump, of course. I already knew Kareem Ali. I knew him last time I went down there. I seen all of the lawyers up close, all of them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, if you walked up to them, they would talk to you. I just didn't say nothing to them. Now I'm gonna tell you, I met all the media people down there in Memphis. Look, my man, what's his name? Oh my, Jerry. What's his name? He on News Channel 5. Jerry. Oh, I forgot his last name. Man, Jerry, man, is my man. Every time Jerry see me, he was like, "What's up, yo? What's going on?" Cool as hell. Being like when they was in there talking, and Bean said, "Hit him harder." I mean, Bean's lawyer said, "I would have said hit him harder." I looked back at Jerry. Jerry was like, I was like, yo, it was crazy, man. Yeah, I'm terrible with names, and the only reason why, if I met you by yourself, I'll remember your name. But I'm getting introduced to people all the time, like, yeah, this is such and such. Hi, and there's a group of people. I forget people's name. I'm old shit. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it's all good. But man, that's my man. Shout out him, man. Every time I see him, I can't know me by face. Every time I see him, I'm like, yo. The other lady on WREG, the older black lady that's short, she stayed in there the whole time writing dictation. Dumb dudes wrote. And shout out Associated Press. They got some cool people that work the cameras. They reporters and stuff. ABC News, shout out to them too. You know what I mean? Like the national news, man, they reporters as cool as can be. Because I was out there, I would go an hour early so I could see the officers walk in. So I would just be out there with the media. And like, they'd be like, who you with? I'm like, I'm with YouTube. They'd be like, oh, for real? Like, they was happy as hell. I'm like, all right. But I mean, it was good, man. Those are the people. I met a lot of people, but I mean, I don't remember the names, but I mean, every time I had a chance to get the phone, the people would, when we come out of that courtroom, people just book. So if I ran to the car, came back, they was going anyway. And you can't take your phone and leave it somewhere. Would you say, Michelle Holm, I'm in San Diego, and yes, we have our problem with police. I prayed he never visit my door. Yeah. Yeah. All right, any more questions y'all got? Anything? Because I'm on fumes right now. I've been up for 15 hours. I left there 3 o'clock this morning. I got up at 3:20 and I hit the street. 9 hours running the street. I used the bathroom 3 times and I fasted because I'm like, I'm eating when I get to Houston. So I was like, you know what I'm saying? I was booking it. I didn't see CJ Davis. I didn't see her. Why did it retract? It took your thing off of there. Listen, when y'all are in my live streams and y'all are in my premieres, if your videos are not, if your things are getting taken down, that's the algorithm. It's none of us. Because I'll be seeing people, Steve took my thing down. It's not me. I don't do that. Sometimes I'm on my phone watching the premiere in there with y'all. When y'all see me texting, I'm on my phone and I'm watching the TV in there. I'm watching myself on TV. If I'm texting and I'm talking with y'all, sometimes it won't let me put my stuff up. I'm like, how is it going to not make me put my stuff out? You ain't got to, it's just certain symbols or whatever, it makes you put it up there. But yeah, I got to eat. Because I ate, yo man, let me tell you something. This is what I ate today. This is how bad I wanted to get home. Because I hate road traveling. I stopped at the store and bought 4 boiled eggs. I was in a rush. I didn't get no salt or nothing. Man, I was eating them boiled eggs. Lord have mercy. They was dry. The yolk was pulling on my false teeth. My bottom teeth was coming unloose. I'm biting, double biting. I look like a fucking fool. I ain't stopped though. I kept it moving. By the time I got home, I had to take my bottoms out. I had the top. My shit was buck teeth in the motherfucker. I got out the car. I ain't give a shit. But yeah, the Tyre Nichols situation is not over. I'll go back for the thing. I told them, I said, if they need me for anything, I'm only 9 hours away. I'll go. I got them. And they my family. I mean, they friends of mine that, you know. And when I go, they told me, hey, you come, you got a place, you know, you can come and talk with us. And, you know, you got family out here, so don't worry about nothing. But, you know, that's a good feeling to have, you know, people believe in you and have you do some good, even though you're just making videos, and it helped them with their healing process moving forward. And I feel really good about that. I mean, it was never my intention. I never knew it was turning that, but You know. What you say, I used to tease Tyre about the brand of cigarettes. He showed me you can be different and still fit in. Yeah. From what they described and showed of him, he was just, you know, a regular dude. He's a regular guy. And that's the part that's crazy. They killed him for nothing. But you know what I think, though? They kept saying the policies needed to be changed. And I'm going to say something before I leave out of here. Nobody was in there from city council or nothing where they want to change the laws or change anything. Nobody ever came, y'all. It was just the family. And a couple of state representatives, like black state representatives, men that came, and like, you know, some activists. None of them people that was important for change to be made came, y'all. They never showed their faces. Even at the end, when everybody was there, even at the end. And that doesn't make you think, do you really want change? Or do you just saying that because the heat's on you? That's one of them things to think about, man. You know, like, it is what it is. But yeah, I'm gonna get up off of here, guys. I was pressing to do a live stream because I was like tired. But you know, this is our thing. This is what we do on Fridays. You know, now, oh, let me tell you this. I got a Tamara Johnson update. Okay? You guys that know Tamara Johnson, you always ask me about her. Tamara Johnson's, I was supposed to go to Louisiana. That was the plan. I was supposed to leave Sunday night and go to Louisiana. Her mother, the one that's locked up, was supposed to take a plea deal. Evidently, she didn't. So she's going to trial. So that trip is canceled because she's not going to go sign a plea deal. When I go down there, I'm going to, you know, interview the family and Tamara Johnson on her recovery. And I'm not going to be in it. It's going to be like soft white underbelly. I'm going to do it like that, where I'm to the side asking questions like DJ Vlad and stuff. And you'll see them sitting there. I'm about to get me another phone so I can get 2 different angles and I can switch up. I'm trying to get my editing and I'm trying to, you know, as I'm maturing on here, I'm trying to mature with the way I do my camera work too. So I'll get more of a professional look. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know, I got to see that through. You know, I met her. She wanted me to tell a story. I'm going down there. I'm doing it. It is what it is. And the thing that's crazy is people send me death threats and all this other crazy stuff. For what? For what? You're sending death threats and all this other stuff. Why would you do that? And it ain't nothing but young kids doing that. Why would you come on a channel that's trying to do something through bettering themselves and giving information? Why would you come on somebody's page and do that? There's some craziness out here. That's why I say live your life and be who you gonna be. You can't let people knock you off edge. I made up my mind when I left down here. If you guys don't know who I am by now, and I got moderators, somebody coming here with some goofy comments, it's your job to get them out of here. If it's a seriously stupid comment, you can block them. You know, I need y'all to moderate chat. I'm not going to answer people no more. I've done more than enough to show on my channel that I care. I go to these places, regardless if I say, put the Cash App up. I don't do it every damn day. And that kind of bothers me because I don't like doing that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, look at what we did with that. Everybody that contributed, we all went to Memphis. You guys sponsored that. You know what I'm saying? I match dollar for dollar what y'all do, but I mean, it kept me out there all week. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a couple of days. Out there all week, we saw the verdict. You know, and we got information nobody else has. So I just wanted to say that I'm gonna stop answering negative comments. Motherfuckers can kiss my ass. I'm sick of this shit. I am. I'm 51 years old. I know a lot. I don't know everything, but I know enough. And I know a lot of people that say these crazy comments. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Now she don't have another GoFundMe up. I don't know if she does. I don't know. I just briefly talked to him a couple days ago. But you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not here to go back and forth and beef with people I don't know. Most of these people don't even have avatar, their face up there. I don't talk to just an avatar. That means nothing. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. So all them videos where I start getting up here and getting rowdy on people, fuck them. You got moderators in here. Y'all go through my comments. You see something crazy, you ain't got to tell me. Get them out of here. That's your job. Anyway, I love you guys. I do. I mean, it was killing me being out there, but I know it didn't kill me like I wanted to like not do what I was doing because I was very at home around Tyre's folks and everybody that was down here. I'm going to tell you something, man. Memphis is like any other city. They got bad parts and they got parts that ain't so bad. It all depends on where you're at. And I mean, it's crime all over, but I mean, Memphis has always been nice to me. And you know, everywhere I went and somebody recognized me, they was like, what's up? So I mean, like when I be like, shout out Memphis and stuff like that, I've been in Memphis. This is my fourth time going to Memphis? My fourth time going to Memphis in a year and a half? I'm starting to learn the streets a little bit or the areas. I mean, it is what it is. I feel comfortable out there. It reminds me of Camden, New Jersey, but I feel comfortable out there. And I just appreciate the city welcoming me and showing me respect, man. Like I respect the city. I respect all people. But I will get with y'all. I got to get off of here, man. I'm on fumes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you can tell I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep on y'all. So let me get off of here. I love you. You guys be good, man. Shout out to the mods and shout out to the. I'm tired of shit. Let me go. Shout out to the channel members. Jesus Christ. I gotta go, y'all. Bye. Damn.